This is in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of the State of New Jersey. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Franklin Township Environmental Commission was made by posting on the bulletin board in the municipal building, posting on the township's website, and electronically transmitted to the officially designated newspapers, including that indicating that this meeting would be take place in person at 7 p.m. at the municipal building on March 3rd. Second?
Third, yep.
What's the third? Okay, that's good. And then we're going to do roll call, which I have over here. I should get a new piece. Owen Vestola?
First, yes.
Did that first. I did that on purpose. Walter Andrews? Here. Ted Chase? Here. Easy?
Yeah.
Stan?
Yes.
Arnold?
Here.
Robin?
Here.
Maria's not here.
No, she just got here, yep.
She came in behind me. Okay. Me, I'm here. Tara's here. Ed Potosnik is not here.
Yeah,
So
he called me at 6:30 and he said he wasn't coming.
Oh, okay. So we got everybody except Ed. Okay. That's that. Report from the environment. I don't have a lot to say, but I did want to bring everybody up to date on one item. There's going to be a planning, read what I wrote. Notice that the planning board is going to hold a public meeting on March 19th, 7:30 at the Board of Education building on Route 27. The meeting is to further consider the proposal by Onyx to construct a warehouse on Old New Brunswick Road and New Brunswick Road. Project has aroused the Somerset Run community to oppose the warehouse, which is across New Brunswick Road from their rear entrance. There were two Buckeye pipelines carrying diesel and gasoline through the site. The applicant has moved in his resubmission. They've moved the building from 20 feet close to the pipeline to 48 feet, but the requirement is 100 feet. Buckeye in the past has indicated displeasure with the proposal. And what I've heard talk to Mark Healy is that this new proposal requires 3 feet of topsoil on top of where they are. That means if the pipeline has to get repaired, they got to dig down an extra 3 feet, which means under all the regs, they have to put shoring and walls inside the trenches. They don't want to do that. Besides that, I looked at it and I mentioned to the council when I made a statement that if one of those pipelines should leak, we'd have a real environmental disaster.
Yes.
So can I bring you up to date on something that's happened to our neighbors right across the river in Bucks County?
Sure.
A friend of mine is president of the fire company there. They have a pipeline, it's Sun Oil Company, Enterprise Risk, Energy Transfer Partners is the pipeline. They have had a major leak of aviation fuel. They are buying up people's homes right now in Upper Makefield Township, Bucks County. And my friend Bart, who is at every meeting at Town Hall, he said they're terrible partners. They're not working well with the community. So it's made me very, very uncomfortable about pipelines in general. And families with small children, they're well with children, and they have to move out. And aviation fuel is even worse. It's very, very high octane.
Yeah.
So very flammable.
Yeah.
So,
Is that Buckeye also?
No. They said
it's Energy Transfer Partners.
yeah. It's
Is it
different.
jet fuel or propeller fuel?
No, it's jet fuel. On its way to Newark
That
Airport.
should not have high flammability.
Well, it's
It's
high.
diesel.
It's
Kerosene?
kerosene.
Yeah.
Kerosene, really, yes.
Oh.
Mark told me that there were pipelines running all through Franklin Township.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, yeah, but everybody in Franklin knows about or remembers Edison when the pipeline exploded and the building caught fire.
Yeah.
And that was a long time ago, but I remember it. And so I had called Washington and I called Atlanta, and that's when I realized that my map only showed one pipeline, but could they cut the resolution at a certain level? When I got to Georgia, he said, "Oh, I can go 4 more levels down. There are 2 pipelines there." He opened up the trace, got showed two pipelines. But that application is also in trouble because there's no way to get a truck in there.
An explicit comment from some of the planning board on that.
Yeah, the road, Old New Brunswick Road, part of it is a private road. And you need an easement to bring an 18-wheeler on that, and they don't have an easement. At least they didn't at that time.
And the Brunswick Road, I think, has a weight limit on
It
it.
does. So there's no way to bring a tractor trailer in there. And,
About 6 months ago, Paul,
yes,
and I wish I had taken a picture of this, a truck came up from Elizabeth Avenue
Right.
with the little shopping center
Yeah.
on the right-hand side, and I was going to ShopRite, and I'm going in the opposite direction of the truck. He pulled in, but he couldn't make the turn. And he was there on his phone, whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
But he just couldn't make the turn into there, and I'm really annoyed with myself that I didn't take a
that's
picture.
the exact problem. I've heard that line during the hearings.
Healy.
Yeah. What Mark said in the TRC, Mark said, this is one of the worst applications he'd ever seen. There's nothing you can really do with that plot of land.
A small property.
Small property, but the residents of Somerset Run expect to gather like Canal Walk did for the B9, they're up in arms. And so I just want to bring that to everybody's attention. That's my
I
remark.
think a denial of this one will stick.
Oh, yeah.
For B9,
Yeah.
they'll probably win in court.
That's what I'm going to discuss on the 14th in Canal Walk. I spoke to Howard Cohen, who's our attorney. He's the attorney that's for the HOA. CWAG has their own attorney. But Howard's been telling us from the beginning that it's time of application is one of the major factors there also. And so we'll see. The judge has not decided yet, last I heard. So that one's been to court and they're waiting. But, that completes my report. We expanded it, I'm glad. It really, broadens the whole thing and gets more things going. So the next one would be approval of the minutes from last meeting.
I move for approval of February 24 minutes.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussions?
Yes.
One word I have on the last page, third or fourth paragraph where it starts, Paul, the noted the Taurus.
Oh, yeah, right.
The last word is Trentoin. You got an extra I in there.
Oh,
Got it.
All right. Mr.
I probably said it
You
right.
done? Okay, so my comment refers to the discussion, the last paragraph, when I was suggesting that we bring up a list of landscaping businesses that use electric quiet leaf blowers. I made specific reference to list on Sustainable Princeton.
Okay.
I didn't disclose specific website, but by saying it's Sustainable Princeton, I meant very specific list on that website. I sent it today to Tara and Ted, so can show it, but it is brand agnostic. It's just focused on whoever complies can be posted. Yeah. And then I'm seeing here, and we did have a conversation that there is a New Jersey Registry of Sustainable Businesses, and the website is down. Well, Sustainable Princeton website is not down, so just think that we should really do something to have it listed at least on our website, Environmental Commission website. But specifically for the comment to the minutes, that I did make specific comment relation to sustainability standards. So I think that it should be added.
Okay, got it.
While you mentioned that, you mentioned about the kids with Taurus, they haven't gotten a lot of progress. They've been talking to Deb, and Deb doesn't seem to, I don't think,
You think the problem's at the insurance agency, not them?
it might be both. I don't know.
Yeah, because I did talk to the insurance agent
Oh, you
about 10
did?
days ago.
Okay, right.
And she said they were working on it, but let me go back to her and see
Good,
where the real.
good.
is.
Because we do have people lined up ready to start, and if they get the approval for they need the insurance anyway,
Of course they do.
you know.
Um,
What that's gonna do is raise their cost factor.
Right.
But it needs to be done.
Right.
It's for their protection.
Now, I wasn't at the last meeting, so I'm not going to vote, but I noticed in the email from between Arnie and Tara, you talked about getting information on Exxon that had to do with a resolution.
Oh, yes, we got it.
And
Yep.
what resolution was that? I don't see
It was,
it.
oh my
Even
gosh,
looking in
the
the
climate, the New Jersey Climate Super Fund.
Okay.
Yep,
Did
yep.
that get forwarded?
Yes, yep.
So it hasn't passed yet.
No, not yet, but it's been updated, forwarded.
Okay, so we're waiting for the council.
Yes,
Yeah,
yep.
that's
I was
what
hoping that's what it was.
That's what I commented, said I didn't remember us really going through that.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah,
Okay, thank you.
good, okay. So I think that completes the review of the minutes with the corrections. All in favor, now of accepting?
Aye.
Okay. Passed, okay. Public comment. Motion to open the floor to public comment?
So move.
Second, so moved, okay. Anybody want to make a comment? Jen?
Yeah, can you just repeat when the planning board meeting is going to be?
Should be the 19th.
March 19th,
Yeah.
7:30 at the Board of Education building over on Route 27.
Okay.
That's it.
And is there a way we can find the site plans online for that?
They're on the Franklin Township website. If you go under committees and commissions, and then you go to planning board, right under the planning board dropdown, there's a page called application materials, and that'll have all the pending applications for the planning board. And if you're looking for zoning board, same thing, go to zoning
Okay.
board, application materials.
And this one is ONYX, Onyx.
Okay. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes.
I'm Sue Kavas, and I wanted to just bring up, I brought it up last year, but I brought it up a little bit too late with the Save the Mow Until Earth Day. The idea of having signs on the lawns, because I really feel like it's a little nerve-wracking to let your lawn grow when you have to answer to your neighborhood, but I really want to do it. We did it. And I think more people will do it if they have signs. I did a little research on it, and I would be willing to take the lead on it if you were into it. I kind of did an estimate for about 50 or 60 signs.
Okay.
To see, and it would cost about, I looked at Vistaprint. There are a lot of places that will do this, but I just looked at this one, $5 to $6 a sign. I know that there are budget restraints or whatever. I had a couple of ideas, like maybe getting a local sponsor. I think that somebody might do that.
Mm-hmm.
Also thought that Jen has mentioned that the high school has an environmental club.
Yes.
Maybe they would like to do a fundraiser or get involved somehow on that. I also think if there's no way to pay for it, I think residents would pay $5 to $6 a sign.
I would think so too. It's the payment, you're getting those.
Wow. Do we have to go through our contractor?
We have to go through our printing bid, but the price is probably very similar to, it's probably a little less than that or similar, but we do have printers we can use. The budget meeting date is, the first one I believe is March 18th, I want to
This would
say.
be for April, like 2 months from now.
Right, so our budget's
from
not
now.
in place, that's the problem.
But how much
So,
do we have in our current budget that we haven't spent?
that I don't know off the top of my head, I'll
Because
have
we'd
to
be
look
talking
and
about spending
see.
this money now.
Yes,
Yes.
I
yes.
think we didn't exhaust it.
No, I think there's still some money
I
left.
do too.
Yeah, I'll have to look and see exactly, I'll check with Mark Healy, yeah,
Let's see how much is
Yeah.
left, and can we, because it's not part of the budget cycle, can we buy from somebody else with those funds that have already been approved?
No, we have to use our printing contract.
And how much
bid.
lead time do they need?
Usually a fair amount of lead time, to be honest, usually.
All right, so if instead we raise the money, we don't have to go through those through that red tape.
Right.
I'm trying to think. So if we were to raise the money and the money was to come to the township, say for example, we would have to go through the red tape. If it was just like the signs themselves were donated, like not funds, but the actual like materials, I think that's a different story.
Yeah.
I think.
All right,
So it would have to be procured completely independent.
independently. You guys want to put the work in to do that?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be happy to make a small donation myself to help offset some of the costs.
Yeah, I would take the lead on that.
Okay.
I suggested that it could be a two-way sign. On one side would be Save the Mow,
Right?
and on the other one would be Leave the Leaves. So that you can use it twice a year.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then, see, that was a great idea.
Maybe we could put the Franklin Environmental Commission logo in the bottom left-hand corner or something.
Yeah.
I know we'd have to move quickly on this.
Yeah.
Or the Environmental Commission website on one side and.
Yeah, the logo on the other. Okay, if you guys are willing to take the lead on this, I'll make a motion that we give you our blessing to do that, including our name and logo, and that we do what we can individually to help you and encourage you to find the funds to offset. But I'll talk to you later. I'll make a pledge toward that, and maybe other people could step up and do the same.
How many would we order?
I wasn't sure what number to start with.
How many people participated last year? Do you remember?
Nobody told me.
But they'll be good for years to come, right?
Yeah.
At 40, right?
What was that?
You made your
I estimated
Your quote
50 to
was
60.
60.
And I think like more people will do this year than did.
Yes,
did
I do
last year.
too. Why don't we see how much money we end up
For the
with?
next year, we can make official purchase. So maybe 50 would be enough for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll do the double-sided idea. I think that's great.
I'll send you the high-res image of our logo.
Okay, excellent.
Well, so I think I better make that motion.
Yeah, because we're going to endorse it with putting the logo on. We need to have a motion to do
I
that.
move that we support Jenny and, I'm sorry, I forget. your
Sue.
name. Sue, in them taking the lead on Save the Motel Earth Day signage, up to 50 units using our logo and our name to be distributed in the community to people who are actually part of the program, with our gratitude.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, no, that's where the community working with us, that's exactly the example we're looking for.
We have 2 volunteers now.
Yes.
It can be done. Yes.
Okay, so then we make a motion to close the public comment.
So moved.
Unless
Well, Bill, I knew didn't know it was coming.
okay.
He knew that it was good.
Second, so.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Aye, okay. Is there any correspondence from anybody?
I don't have any
I don't either.
correspondence, no.
Okay. Site plans.
So the only site plan review we have for tonight is Devon Developers.
Oh,
This is their third resubmission.
Right.
I put the email up on the screen
Good.
if you need to reference it. I'm gonna put the property up here just so you know. So this is a property we're talking about. It's on Route 27. Something's up with the internet here tonight. Is anyone else having a problem? You are? I cannot, like, this is what I keep getting for the subdivision plans, but
Okay, well.
if you want to talk about it,
Yeah,
Paul.
I've been reading this the third time. But, they're planning 8 houses. The 9th lot would be for the stormwater basin, and the 10th lot would be empty. And, the first and second times we looked at this one, I knew that they were taking down 26 trees, but I couldn't find that they were putting any in. They are, I found now, this is now the second revision. They're planting 140 trees, which is what they need. And it's on page 6 of one of the things. It has the list of all the trees.
Got it.
I think they're all trees, but you know more of that Latin than I do.
Yeah.
So, but I recognize magnolia and oak and a couple of some maples, red maple, 140 trees. That's the requirement, based on the 26 that they're removing, based on the sizes. There's a chart that gives the sizes, and then they come, that they need 140 trees. And just so happens they're planting exactly 140 trees, which is the deficit, because they're taking down 26 trees, but some are bigger and such. And when we had said last time is that they should put some around that vacant lot and some on the border with the other properties. And it looks like
the
that's what
address
they've done.
again?
It's on Route 27.
Bunker Hill Road.
Yeah,
I think
Oh,
it's
is this
11
Bunker Hill?
Bunker Hill.
Yeah, 11, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the lot, the vacant lot.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
It
it.
should remain vacant.
It's gonna look like the one next door.
I
Because
just
it's got
wanna
a
see-
circle and a, you know, that kind.
I just want to see your last review, just to
Access will
The
be,
sort of place where people put a.
10/3/24. This is your, I just want to look at your most recent review prior to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Originally, yeah, we had basically said that more of the 97 required trees be planted on site instead of the monetary contribution,
Right.
specifically along the northern and western property.
They actually listened to us.
Yeah.
It was there all along and I never found it.
Native and
Could be too,
pollinator
but-
plants, yeah, for stormwater runoff. So you're saying, Paul, in your review, they've addressed these two comments?
Well, they did the one about the number of trees and.
Okay.
Yeah, the map shows now, there's a map that shows where all the tree replacements are.
Got it.
The only thing I would I think to recommend, we don't have enforcement, but if they're building nice luxury homes, why not have them with solar on the roof? The people might like that, and it saves a little bit, and enhances the value of the house.
Yeah.
And it's easy to do when the house is just being built. And they get subsidies
Yes.
from the state.
plus it makes them really think about whether they missed something in the design of the roof.
Well, most of these are slanted roofs.
There's some things here and there, but
but-
when you have to put solar, then
Yeah, right. Yeah. And you want to make sure it orients, you get it the right direction. The
Yes.
trees are going to be small enough for the first few years that they're not going to overshadow the houses.
Yeah.
Give them 10 years, then I won't be here then.
Right,
So speaking of that, the trees that they're proposing,
There's a list.
do they grow tall?
I don't know, well, red maples,
Because when you want to tell them to put solar,
Yeah,
the trees that are, they shouldn't be growing. too
magnolias don't grow real high.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and oaks do, but, you know. But some of them, a good number over on that vacant plot. Because like I said, there's 10 plots, 8 houses, the basin, and then a vacant area. And it looks like they have a couple of rows in the vacant area, which I didn't remember seeing that in the last one. So, they also did a great deal of improvement, I think, to the stormwater management part. Because that goes on for 3 sets, over 100 pages.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that being there before. Or maybe it wasn't extensive, but I think the
Yeah.
TRC did a very detailed review,
Good.
and maybe now they'll get it, you know.
Perfect.
Well, since you were mentioning trees,
Yes.
we had a discussion about it at the Shade Tree Committee meeting last Thursday. As you know, we got the price of a tree raised from $30 to $300, and it says in the ordinance that it's supposed to be reviewed every year. From what we can tell, last time it was reviewed was in 2023. And so we're putting it, maybe it was done in 2024. Even if it was, it still needs to be done in 2025. So we are, I believe there's been a communication sent to the appropriate people in the township to make sure that the engineering department is appropriately reviewing the cost of trees, so if they need to change the ordinance or not.
Well, might see a little uptick in the cost.
Could be up, could be down, you never know.
Yeah.
Now, we do know that the trees on Hamilton Street cost about $1,000, but I don't think they're gonna go for $1,000. Yeah.
So they were more mature, they were bigger?
Or even if they just put in a cost of living raise, it's still gonna be $25 more. $20 more,
Labor goes up.
Labor goes up.
So with all this tree planting, there's not going to be any of the trees' roots are not going to interfere with any of
That's
these?
why so many are on this vacant area, I think. Also, like each house has a tree and that kind of thing, but the
won't interfere with
majority
the
seem to be
utilities or
away
anything.
from the houses. So that's all I had was, thought about was adding solar. And the other suggestion, if you're gonna do fancy houses, is put each garage have an EV charger. That wouldn't be so terrible.
Be charger ready.
Be charger ready, yeah, that's, yeah,
Good. Just put the fat plug,
yeah, yeah.
the dryer plug.
It's a lot easier to do when you're building a house from scratch than it is to retrofit. And-
That
and
being sure the panel can handle it.
The whole
Yeah.
business is done. This is the time to do it.
I've been saying this over and over again.
I know, but, you know, maybe time has come, you know?
And maybe we build that into our green questionnaire.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, there was stuff about solar, and the EV was only on the commercial side, but on the residential,
We didn't have too many applications related to
no,
residential.
no.
Now, if this is multi-unit dwelling, then they have rules,
Yeah.
right? But this was individual house, or?
Eight houses.
8
houses?
individual.
Yeah, put the thing back up there, the picture, show you what it looks like. See the one here with the cul-de-sac and the houses around it? Same thing over there.
You can,
No,
It's gonna be on the.
there are 8 houses
The
there?
houses will be up off the screen of this picture.
Up by the dirt road? Up
On
in that.
both sides
that's
of
where-
Well, you can see the existing house there at the lower left.
So,
Oh, yeah, they're taking down something.
Okay.
They're taking, there was a house and a garage that they're taking down. So it's not all vacant
on
land.
both sides of that, what do you call dirt road,
Yeah, I think so.
south and north, right? So 4 there, 4 here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I wish I could open the subdivision plans, but there's something happening with the internet here, it's like making it very
Yeah,
difficult.
wait, here, right here.
This is the application,
The
yeah,
application.
not the
It's
plan.
it's a subdivision to do 10 lots, of which 8 will be single-family homes. And then one is the stormwater basin and one an open space.
The cul-de-sac.
And that's got a lot of, I think lot, is that the one that's 40, that's a lot of space, 44, that's a full acre.
Mhm.
Speaking of the recommendation for the EV plug,
Yeah.
I think we better be on the specific, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
I would say 32 amp minimum, which requires 40 amp breakers.
I mean, they may not even have thought of it, but it's an added feature a builder can,
Normally, I would say 40 amp, but I don't want to stress them out too much.
right.
Mhm.
Because if they can do it within the existing design of the panel,
It's better
Yes.
chance of getting it done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good point.
and 32 is like,
And they're gonna charge overnight anyway. They don't need a fast charger. Most of the people
Right.
will charge overnight.
These are overnight, right?
we are talking about level
Approved it.
Yeah,
Level
No,
two
you
come
can
in
just
with
level
2
two.
levers.
Exactly.
You can just plug into
Yeah.
your existing,
Well, you still need 220, right?
for a full electric car, it would take several nights.
Yes, but
Like my
you-
car goes overnight on a 220.
But you need to charge only to replenish what you drive.
Yeah.
And so if you don't drive too much, 110 could be enough. Even if you drive occasionally a lot, you know, one day you stay at home and you can, so anyway.
Anyway, so that's the only building plan we have.
That's it for tonight.
So,
Awesome.
we're up to new business. Skip the stuff, voluntary program.
Yes, we talked about this a little bit at the last
Yeah.
meeting, and everyone seemed to be interested in doing it, so yeah, so I kept it on.
I reached out to Montgomery because they were doing the skip the stuff, and I said, how do you do enforcement? Well, after a lot of back and forth, we decided it's not really a matter of having an ordinance. One of their members who spends a lot of time in California with the daughter, they have an ordinance out there, but nobody does it. It's really a matter of education. So they've just taken it upon themselves to educate the businesses in town, which I think is a good idea. They have a youth member who developed artwork. So I asked them if we could maybe use their artwork. You know, if we could build a little flyer with a symbol that's recognizable and we put it on our website and
Yeah.
we just work on the education side and we don't have to worry about the health department or Vornlock or we just work with the chamber and the business. So as soon as I hear back from Kathy Lynch at Montgomery about the artwork, I'll bring it to the next meeting and maybe we can go that route.
Something that they will print and they can put it on the front as some sort
Yeah.
of certification.
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it could be just like even a big logo that, we've.
Like a LEED certification, so you put something.
Right. And we're working to save the planet, If you need these, please ask.
Well, see, I mentioned at the meeting last time, Jersey Mike's over, the new one over, well, they're not new, it's now. They don't offer you, but they have a bowl with the minimum.
Right.
If you want, when you take it. If you don't need it, you don't take it.
Right.
And that seems to be,
And there is a bill in Trenton,
yeah.
slowly making its way, but it started this fall. I think this Bob Smith is one of his. So it might be that at least we get things going, like the plastic bag ban.
Yeah.
The municipalities had to do it, and then eventually the state did. So I'll share with everybody, as soon as I get anything from her, I'll just email it out so everybody can have a chance to look at it. Maybe we just copy exactly what they're doing. I'll find out what they're telling their businesses and who's doing.
Robin? Sorry, when we reach out to these businesses, I learned when I was working with an environmental non-for-profit, recycling, initial recycling, paper, cans and glasses and plastic, it didn't really take off until there was a market for it. Right. So when we're talking to businesses, we got to talk to them about their bottom line.
Right, they're saving money.
Yeah, they're saving money. They maybe won't care about saving the planet. How will it benefit their bottom line?
The cost of inaction. The cost of inaction.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. That's good. That's a good kind of phrase. Cost of inaction.
Of inaction. There's a cost.
Stay tuned.
Well,
But
they may be afraid of alienating customers because customers have some
that too.
expectations, and
You could put in the newspaper that, Franklin's starting this program. Look for this sticker in the window of the business that you frequent.
it could be a joint press release from the Environmental Commission and the Chamber.
We need to push for
Yeah.
those
And a
signs.
campaign.
I was at Costco yesterday, and they've got these little things where you press a button and the spoon comes down or the fork. They have those on the turnpike also, in the rest stops. So they're not saying, it doesn't go with everybody. If you don't want, you don't take it.
Hopefully that will fly.
Hampton Inn also has that set up. Yeah.
So more to come.
Stream cleanup. Arnold.
I have that on there, Stan. I wasn't sure if you had anything to share.
Yes, I know.
I don't know who's more upset about that, me or Stan.
So, what, we didn't discuss it before?
No.
So, we have a registration on Lower Raritan Watershed Partnership website. And I asked Jenny, we have also proposed text for press release. If you get a chance, it is a little bit lengthy, and Jenny proposed paragraph number 4 of omitting, which I agreed, because we want to be rather brief and to the point that announcing the stream cleanup, why is it important. So I think that one. I have also QR code, which is convenient, and I think you can just release it if you agree.
So let's go through the steps of what releasing it is.
Okay, and I made, one more change. In that article, proposed text, it said that it is always a mile run. It's not always mile run. We are trying to rotate, and whichever stream, and has to be public area, of course. But so far we have only 2. We have series run and mile run. Doesn't mean that we are not open to anything else. So that is the change.
So how do you say now we can release it?
Mhm.
We have to talk about how is this done? So we want Tara to please speak with the township website people to put this on the calendar, right?
Yes.
maybe also put the article if they can, and, to read more about stream cleanups, click here, kind of thing with Jenny's article. So make sure Tara has the right version.
Yes,
that
yeah, I need the
article?
right article, the right version. yeah.
I can work on getting an email out with several topics, this being one of them, so I can do that. Do you want me to send it to Bill and to tap into, or are you gonna do that? Be careful.
Since I can do it.
Okay. Well, you send it to the two papers.
Okay.
Okay, Tara will take care of the township. I'll get it as part of an email once we get a few other topics going.
Okay.
Is there any place else we want to be sending this? Obviously, Lower Raritan will do some.
They have their
Push it out,
own.
right.
But we want to promote it through our channels because this is our,
Yes.
we own it.
Is there-
The environmental group in Canal Walk posted it to the entire community. There's an environmental group there,
Yes.
and David put it out.
Do you
Yeah,
want
that's
to,
fast
do you
week.
want to send it to Rutgers Prep? I mean, they're so close, and they're always looking for service hours. Do we have a contact person at Prep in the?
Well, I have
the
that
administration?
teacher.
I don't, I'm sure someone does though.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can.
Does anybody here have a contact in the admin at Prep?
Well, I have contact to a teacher over there who I communicated with a few years ago when we were doing towpath cleanup.
Okay, perfect. Maybe,
Okay,
I think
that
send it
student
there.
is long gone, I think, but the
Yeah,
teacher
but they have
should
a
be-
fresh crop coming.
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
Maybe we could get some there. Okay.
How about scouting groups?
Yes.
I already
H?
sent them notice.
If any of you have contacts, you can do this.
Give me the name, it will click. And I sent it to Councilman
Vasanella.
Vasanella. Not that he responded, but I sent it to him.
I don't think he's involved in the scouting as much as he used to.
But he's still councilman.
Yes. No, it's good. It's good to say.
Yeah. Farnell, his last name, or do you know the names of those guys
Which guys?
from the scouts?
No, I do not.
No, okay, fine. But I did, based on the contacts that I developed previously, I sent it to them.
And if they get them and they're no longer the leaders, they can pass them on to whoever took their place,
Yes.
hopefully.
Yeah. So, yeah. And every time we have stream cleanup, we try to get those contact information and put them into our mailing list, right? So when it will be circulated to our mailing list, they should be on notice anyway. Anything else?
I saw that you said about the parking stand. Did you get the approval from? I noticed
Yeah,
that.
and I tell you what, this text was just copied from previous years.
Okay.
You know, they are not too friendly, the church. And last time, which was 2 years ago, I noticed that they have trucks.
Because they attract the trailers in the parking lot. That's been there for a couple of years. Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's even allowed what they do, but anyway, I will approach them and I'll put them into spot, essentially.
That's the same one we've done before then. I remember the trucks.
Yeah.
You know.
Those people who run the church are either Ukrainians or Belarusian, I don't remember
I
exactly.
don't think that the Ukrainian one is
No,
Davidson.
they're mostly Hungarians in that church.
No, the St. Peter's.
Yeah. They used to be mostly Hungarians, they're not
The
anymore.
lady
Do
I
they have a
met, that-
Russian, maybe?
Not exactly Russian, that's why I'm thinking it's more Ukrainian.
Well, because they have the big church on Davidson and Eastern Avenue. That's the headquarters for
It's
North
a different
America.
one, that's true.
Yeah.
But
And they have a cemetery behind that. That's
it's
put
called
as-
Byzantine Church.
well, that
It's
that may
Byzantine
be.
Catholic.
Yeah.
Byzantine
No.
Catholic.
Byzantine rites, but allegiance to the Pope.
So, but the lady, her name is Olga. So.
So you're gonna get the permission from her, right? Okay.
So,
They don't respond.
the next one is Climate Mayors Program. Is that you?
That is me, yes,
thought
kind of. So I got an email from Mayor Kramer, and he said that many mayors were asked to sign up for this program, and that he signed up for it. It's called Climate Mayors. So I have been kind of like looking through it to see what it is, and it basically looks like you sign up and you can log initiatives that you do. We're already doing many of these initiatives, and then it's basically 750 mayors across the country have already committed to kind of lead on issues related to climate change in their communities. The purpose is to help build political will for federal and global climate action and learn best practices from fellow mayors. So we're now we're part of this now. And so, yes. So basically, by signing on, you indicate that you're pursuing actions to achieve an emissions reduction target through 1, developing a community greenhouse gas inventory, 2, setting near and long-term targets to reduce emissions, and 3, developing a climate action plan aligned with the city's targets. So, yes, so we're part of that now. I have to kind of go through and figure out exactly. I tried to log in with what was provided. I'm not really able to get in at this point, so I have to kind of figure out how this works.
This would be good to put in our email blast to our list, that we're now part of the Climate Mayors.
Yes.
It really gives some more backing. It's not just us, it's.
Right.
It's
It's
the-
Township.
Yes. So we are in it.
ClimateMayors.org.
Yep. So I will keep you posted as we kind of move through that.
You think it's mainly in the blue states and not in the red states?
It could be red states with big
Global.
mayors.
That could be too.
Sarah, I thought it was global.
It said United States mayors. Yeah, United
Across the
States
country.
mayors. 350 member cities across the country. Upholding the pair. Is your mayor a member? Okay, so there's a search button here. You can search. So these are all the different places that are signed
Not
up.
one in the state of Wyoming. I love it.
And none in South Dakota.
Or North
North Dakota.
Practically there are no cities in the state of Wyoming.
Well, there are.
That's right.
I can work on one when I'm out
Yeah, we
there.
work on Jackson.
Yeah.
There's less people in Wyoming than Somerset County and Middlesex County combined.
There are more cows than there are people in Wyoming.
They have an impact on
Groundhogs
climate.
also.
There's a coalition along the Mississippi too.
Well, there's Jersey, New York,
I just want to see if it.
Connecticut.
So Marlboro is in it. Red Bank,
Georgia.
Yeah.
Long Branch.
Looks like there might be.
City, Brian.
Union
That's
City.
where I went to high school.
South Orange Village.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
Westfield.
Yeah.
Fanwood.
North Brunswick. Okay, Mac. Look at that.
East Brunswick.
Yeah. And Princeton.
Princeton.
Yeah.
None in Somerset County. We would be the
Nope.
first.
We are the first.
Okay.
So that's good.
We could set an example. We're the largest one in Somerset County.
There are lots of green spots in, is it Middlesex County?
Well,
It
some in
looks like
Bergen.
Union. Fanwood,
Up here, you mean?
Yeah.
Westfield, that's all Union.
This is White Plains,
No,
New
no,
Yeah,
York.
that's the boundary.
Nyack.
He meant, no, I said New Jersey.
Yeah, like around Route 78.
Orange, you did South Orange,
Yeah.
Fanwood,
Late
Westfield.
70s.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, New York City's in there. South Orange, Morris Township.
Three roommates.
Okay.
So, yeah.
There's two.
Holly Marr, who is the county executive?
Yeah. Westfield.
Mr. Brenda.
Elizabeth.
Good for Elizabeth.
Secaucus.
Hope they do something, just, I mean.
So just so you know, so we're part of that now, so I will kind of keep an eye on it and see how, how we implement it,
Sure.
but yeah.
Give us another point of visibility. Okay. And then we're at the end of new business with the usual line of hot topics. Yes, Maria.
Where I have to report from the education committee,
The
so
committee reports didn't make the agenda,
Yes.
so.
Oh, I must have taken them off.
I didn't see it there,
Sorry,
you're right.
I will add them back.
go ahead. Okay. So we met on last Thursday, and we discussed a couple of topics, and we make a couple of decisions. it was Ellen, Izzy, and myself. We are planning to attend the STEAM Family Day at Elizabeth School on April 24. Also the Green Fair on May 3rd at the high school. The Sustainable New Jersey and PSAG grant for schools that we can, that Tara sent us an email to communicate with schools. We already created a letter, and we're going to send that letter. They both approve it. Yeah. And then the PSAG bill, that's the next topic, is increasing by June 25th. And we mentioned that it's a great opportunity to make an education campaign about clean energy options and also efficiency practices to reduce consumption. So we are working on an article, the three of us, to mention those options for the community.
To send them to our web page that's specific to that because of our PSE&G work, right?
Yes, we can put it on there once you have it developed and everything.
But even in your letter, send people there.
Yes.
Because the page already exists.
Yep, absolutely.
So that'd be a good piece of info to include.
I'll send you the link, Maria, so you have it.
Thank you. Yeah. And then we want from the committee to know more clarity on the tasks that we need to do for as an education committee for Sustainable Jersey. Because I know we have their projects, but we want to know which are
get the most points.
And then number 6 was helping Stan with the dissemination of a stream cleanup event he organizes. So you have to let us know what you need from us before, during, and after.
Yeah, we're not mind readers.
And then for the fall, we are planning. Okay, the article on PSNG, we're planning to have it done by April, May, because the increase starts in June, which is 17%. Now for the fall, Ellen is already looking at her notes, and we are organizing a workshop in the fall about compost, right?
It could be compost. I was thinking, give people a broad view of what they can do, how they can change their habits where they live. That will positively impact, the environment. But compost is close to my heart, yes.
Okay, so and that completes our report.
Smelly hard.
So we have work to do.
Nothing like the smell of fresh.
Also, you weren't here, Robin, to hear this, but Maria, at the last meeting, who changed from your committee to go over to communications?
Stan.
Okay, perfect. So you're aware. Okay, great.
And speaking of the stream cleanup, I will send you the communication if you can promulgate it to the Chamber of Commerce. Right. And who else? Are you in touch with the youth center?
I can, again.
Yeah.
It was very discouraging.
I will definitely give it to my daughter. She's in charge of the Green Club, Environmental Club at high school. So.
The president.
Ooh, strong genes.
Aww. That's great.
The acorn didn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah.
Well, wait for this. Next week will be exam for the chemistry Olympiad, and I'm pushing my daughter to do chemistry Olympiad.
Oh wow!
But I digress.
Good luck.
Are you done?
Yeah, you put the Chamber of Commerce. Yes, because the last point was the workshop that we're planning.
I was just sharing with you my references, and now I'm going to go through and.
Where is the date you mentioned? The one we're going to bring the stuff, the tablecloth. Is that April 24th at the high school, or is that early?
Yes, the April
24th. That's
May 3rd too.
May 3rd, Saturday is Green Fair.
April 24th is Elizabeth Avenue.
It's Thursday.
That's Elizabeth Avenue on the 24th.
Yes.
And where's May 3rd?
The high school.
Oh, that's the high school.
What is on Elizabeth Avenue?
We the STEAM STEAM Family Day at Elizabeth School, and we want to
And the
have
science fair. STM, that's the science stuff. Like we did last year. Yeah.
STEM or STEAM?
STEAM.
I'll bring-
STEAM because they put arts.
Yeah, I'll bring, you want the game also and the thing with the dice or whatever?
And we
it
have
was?
the night lights too, if you
Well, I
want.
will
Probably
open
the
it.
nightlight because it's an hour and a half, and maybe the kid. It's elementary school. It might be engaging. Yeah, you can, but if it's too much, it's okay.
What time is it?
From 6 to 7:30.
Which one is that? That's May 3rd?
No.
That's April 24th,
Oh, 6 to 7:30.
Thursday.
Thursday,
Mhm.
April 24th. Okay. Probably not,
No calendar.
My calendar to March yet.
but I do have a whole bunch of those, night lights. So we'll
Yeah, you
take
can give
that.
those out. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep.
Sure.
And for your energy savings topic, I know we've talked about wanting to do an energy education event in general, where we talked about energy aggregation, community
Yeah, he
level.
mentioned that. I bring that to them, but
Community solar and the PSE&G savings. I think Ed told us that the township was going to go out to bid in the spring to see what energy prices look like. So maybe by the time that has some success, that'd be the perfect timing to roll it into an education thing. So we can let people know. Because they all voted on that. It was, a public question. So it's
Yes,
good to
and it's
follow up
still
on it.
lingering and still.
now off the record, I don't know how many of you are in that app, Neighbor.
Oh, I'm
You
on.
mentioned here, and I read.
Things people post constantly, oh my God.
Yeah, but they post something about the increase in energy in their energy bill, and I think yes, it was last week, and that they were commenting how from 5, and they were trying to figure out if it was the delivery or the infrastructure or there was a problem with their system. So just
Which organization is going to have the webinar on it? Isn't it actually a League of Conservation Voters about
yes.
elaborating on why?
Yes, the LCV is having
LCV.
Ted sent that around to us.
Right, and I registered.
Yeah, I do too.
When is it?
The 20th.
20th of
This month.
this month. Right, 20th is.
Yes, what, the PSE&G program, what is that for?
For schools, it's
Yeah.
Sustainable Jersey and PSAG. They want students to monitor and become leaders in their schools, measuring energy efficiency. So we're sending that to schools in Franklin.
Wonder how they're going to do that. They must have a guidebook or instructions.
Yes, and they have to go to empower.org.
Wow.
Mhm.
I wonder, yeah.
Empower something. I don't remember.
Okay, is there any other
Yeah, I
committees?
have a few hot topic things I want to ask.
Okay.
I think it was brought up last meeting, and I'm sorry I wasn't here for it. I am very interested in this dark skies thing.
Oh, yeah.
And dark skies has sample ordinances. And we have lighting in 3 different places in the township, but we don't have an overall lighting ordinance. But what we do have is outdoor lighting. We have, which is pretty elaborate. We have the other 2. I don't have it right here. I'm sorry, I didn't print that page. And I think I'm going to take the time to read their model ordinance and compare it to what we already have on the books and see how different it is. I think it's something that would be good to do some community education around so people know when they're choosing outdoor light fixtures for their home. As well as whatever the municipality does. It all has a very real effect, not only on animals, but on our health. So I think I'll put a blurb, if everybody's okay, in the upcoming email blast, directing people to the Dark Sky website, which is very interesting. Maybe even a link to the ANJEC webinar, which was really helpful. And just start getting people interested. This came to my attention 2 years ago when a friend of mine who's a Franklin resident said, why aren't we doing more about dark skies? So there are people out there, not just us nerds, who do care about this. And I think it's worth doing some investigation and see how difficult it would be. But I know some of you watched the ANJEC webinar, and I read your comment about the police and their concerns about, but they have researched this, and if you watch the webinar, they talk about the safety professionals and what they see and how this can work. So more to come on that, but I'm gonna do some research on it. they find increased rates of cancer with uncontrolled light. I mean, it's not just the birds and the bees. So it got my attention.
If I remember right, the outdoor lighting requires all the buildings that we look at to have full cutoff fixtures, which puts the light downward
Right.
and not upward.
And
that-
people in
that's in the ordinance, I think.
Right, and people in their yards aren't doing that. We got light going everywhere.
Yeah, and even Home Depot and those stores, they sell floodlights that are non-compliant, but they are legal.
So if anybody comes across any other material, send it my way and I'll just add it to my research. Halogenated gases is something I brought up about a year ago. There was some webinar where Rutgers, where they mentioned that the two places in the state with the highest amount of uncontrolled halogenated gases were Piscataway and Franklin Township.
Why we have
In the state.
In the state. So I emailed
Which Franklin
this
Township?
Franklin Township. On the map.
We are not out.
Nice try, Ted.
I followed up with this very nice woman who said, this is our first year of gathering the data. The businesses have to self-report. We should have the data by November. So I contacted her in November. She said, we've got it, but we haven't collated it yet. Come back to me in March. So it's on my list. I'm going to go back to her and see what we can learn. Because I think, if I remember right, even the mayor and people in town here were interested.
Okay.
Because it maybe is something that they can go to work on that would be a help.
What do they mean by halogenated gases?
Actually, it's
Methyl
refrigeration equipment that's old and that is leaking.
chloride?
Doesn't have tight seals.
Does it include solvents?
I don't know. You're
Because there are
welcome.
halogenated solvents that are volatile and
It may be, they use the term halogenated gases, but it may be incorporating that
Yes,
as well.
yes.
But I have a
But-
name,
but-
I have an email.
Okay.
I
and
would
she's
like
very
to
nice.
know the methodology. How they
You can ask her that, because if I ask her, I will not understand what she says. You can. She's a scientist, she's
Because
not a
I just
PR
don't
person.
know what would make Franklin so bad
That's what I'm wondering
compared
about.
to
Exactly.
or Piscataway.
Well, they've got this data on the state, and this is the results of what they have. So it's,
We've had the people come, remember when the residents came and told us about the odors coming out of one of the plants?
yes.
That's-
No, those are not oral.
No, those were,
But this is DEP, so we'll learn more shortly. Okay. And then other thing under hot topics was solar permitting, fast tracking solar permitting. I had sent that to you.
We looked at that bill at the
Yes.
last meeting,
Yes.
and I think we made a motion
Yeah.
to
We
go
agree.
ahead and
That's already
forward
been-
it.
Yeah,
I have,
done.
no, it's being passed
Okay.
along, yes,
And
yeah.
do we know how cumbersome our permitting is here in town?
For solar panels, I'm not 100% sure. From reviewing the bill that you sent, it seems like 75% of projected residential solar panels would move quicker through this
Right.
process. So I'm assuming we're probably in the middle there. So I
Okay.
would guess, I don't know how, I don't know how cumbersome it is,
Mm-hmm.
but I do know that you need to come here in order
Yeah.
to do it, so.
Well, maybe by pushing that to the council, they can
Yep.
start talking about how
Yes.
difficult it is.
Yeah, definitely. I have it on my list, yeah.
Part of that issue, since, as you know, I had panels put on my roof last summer, the end of the summer. I think the permitting process went relatively quickly, but then after everything is done, you have to have
Inspection.
the inspections. You have the electrical inspection come out, and then you have to have PSE&G come out to check it out. So it might have been a couple of weeks in between each of those also before you can actually put it on, although some people I know put it on anyway.
Interesting. We read the bill, we can see if maybe that's incorporated in it to help.
They
Put it all on
also
one
have to,
platform.
they also have to give you a dual meter, because they measure in and out.
Yes.
There's a special, I have a meter on
Still
my
works with
outside,
the old
my electric meter, and it's got two tracks. And
Like I
when
know.
when you get the bill,
It spins
it
backwards.
shows how much you generated that goes into the grid, and how much you took from the grid. Yeah.
That's it.
So yes, we voted on that last time, and it is on my list. You know, because we met, I'm like, why do I still have so many things on my list? Because we just met last
I
week.
have also one item, speaking of
Yeah.
communication. So I mentioned it before, but I think we need to address it. So the communication that is sent from Environmental Commission at franklinnj.gov. I'm not receiving it. The most recent was, give me the date, for the March 1st Hillsborough screening.
It was the day after our last meeting
So
is
it
when I
was
sent it, so that would have been
February
25th.
25.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you did not receive it.
I don't know what it is.
No.
Did not.
I was about to ask you.
But we have to mark
Is
that
this
as
the
a
Nixle
state sender.
notification?
No, and well, but we should actually
I didn't
put
receive it.
Nixle on our list.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
When we,
Who's in charge of what goes on?
No, IT.
So when we ask IT, can we make that automatically part of it?
That was Saturday. I
community?
didn't get it.
We can ask, like every time, we have to put,
Years
please use
ago,
Nixle.
Okay.
which is-
Team
yeah.
cleanup
I
was
didn't get it because
announced
I
through
never
Nixle.
went to. Okay.
Yes, we can, you have to ask for
And
that.
then it was not.
You have to ask for it every time. Every time you ask for something to be posted, I have to, like, when I want to post the agenda for the Environmental Commission, every time I have to write, please post on the main municipal calendar and the EC meetings page. So yes, if you want it on Nixle, we have to write Nixle.
Make that part of the template.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, everything you want posted on Nixle for the environmental users. Yeah, okay,
And
all right.
That was.
Things like an email blast with multiple articles don't need to be, but
Did you check it?
the
Stream cleanup, okay.
education event.
Jan 14.
I just want to see if it got posted on the social media,
January.
the last
You did
thing
not
here.
know.
What was the date?
February 25.
No, I didn't know.
You don't have your device
I
with
don't
you?
remember.
No, granted, I'm thinking this one, I literally, oh wait, no.
You didn't
Yeah, and it was here while I was sitting here, so it was on the 24th, and I'm wondering if it didn't go through because of, we were having problems with the internet last time too.
Then you should be able to
I
see what it
remember.
was.
Yeah, I didn't get a bounce back, no. It's not gonna bounce back.
Is it sitting in the outbox?
Folder for.
I checked that before, I'll double check, but no. Nope, hold on.
Because, you know, I didn't go to that screening and my excuse is that I didn't get a reminder, you know. But unfortunately, not that I didn't have to do anything, I was still doing lots of things.
No.
I missed it, essentially.
Mm-mm.
So it.
I'm gonna have to
It
look.
did go through or?
Yes, it looks like it went through, but no
We
one
had
got
a
it, it looks
problem?
like, yeah.
We have a problem. It's not just me, I mean, Ted, did you receive it?
Receive what?
I'm just gonna see if it's
I
on,
wouldn't remember with my 100 emails a day.
I know, that's the
I
other
would be
problem.
surprised if you don't remember, because you have the best memory on the table.
I'm just checking our social media, see if it got posted on here.
I know, but still, it's the email from our own environmental commission
I don't think I got it.
that Tara is sending, announcing this film screening in Hillsborough.
It passed already, it was on March 1st.
Right.
I'm looking to see if it got posted on
How
social
many of us
media.
actually do receive it? Because it looks like nobody in the room actually.
I don't remember.
And it was was it entitled film screening? Did it have a
Yes.
subject?
I don't think I received.
Okay, maybe I
I
should
heard about it
reverse
here,
the
so-
Check
question.
my email.
Raise your
Yeah,
hand.
see, she can't even check the email
Who
here.
received it?
I don't think anyone received it, and I'm looking on social media,
So who's-
and it's
we
not
have a
on here
problem.
either.
Yeah, but we have to fix it, yeah.
It's not on our social
Because
media.
we, as a communication committee, you know, we have to communicate. This
Yeah.
is one of our major communication channels.
It's not on social media either, and I bet you it didn't get on the calendar. All right, let me check with IT and see if there's a problem with our email, which there is, it looks like.
Could you please copy your-
Yeah. Well, I can, but yes, I can. The only thing is you need to, when we communicate with IT, you have to communicate, it has to come from me. It has to come directly
Yes,
from me
yes,
to
but Are
IT.
you allowed to copy?
But you can CC him on it.
I can CC you on it. What I'm saying is like they prefer that I just correspond with
Yeah.
them
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
everybody else.
Dan won't
Yeah.
follow up, but
Yeah.
at least he knows you did it.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes.
That way we don't bug you.
Yeah, that's
You don't need anyone bugging.
yeah, I get
She
it.
gets Trails Committee, she gets Open
Uh,
Space.
That's why I'm like, which event is this for? Let me see if it made it onto our calendar too. I just want to double check. Yes, because it looks like maybe we have a problem here. And you can't even get on your internet, and so there's something going on
Yeah.
March 1st.
I haven't been able to get anything in an hour.
No. Ugh, okay. All right, let me follow up.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay.
I got stuff about, the composting, that stuff.
Composting, correct, yeah.
All right.
Get that.
I'll
that's
follow
all I
up.
had.
Okay.
And I guess that's also what I wanted to say.
That's all you wanted? Can I just add one thing for
Sure,
the
sure.
dark skies, maybe to consider? I don't know if this would fit in, but in July, the first Saturday, I guess it is, or Friday night maybe, of every July, the Trails Committee does a Firefly Walk.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if that's something maybe that the EC would want to partner with them on, or have a table at, because they partner with the Astronomy Club. And so basically what they do is they have the trail walk. It starts late, it doesn't start till late because it's a Firefly Walk, but they lead it through John Clyde Memorial Native Grasslands Preserve up to a certain point, and then the Astronomy Club is there to do observations for people that are interested. But if the EC was interested in doing something.
What time do they start? I mean, could people see materials or?
Yeah, so usually they start when it's still light out, like an hour or two before, and then they have they have people set up their chairs and they talk and they walk, and then at the
Great.
Yes, so if you want, I can talk to them about it.
Yeah. See if
Is
they like the idea.
is that on a weekend?
It's usually on the first, I want to say it's the first it's definitely the first Saturday. I'm going to tell you probably when it will be this
I
year.
was just asking at the weekend because it's,
No, not the first Saturday, I'm wrong.
I went on it last year with my wife, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
I think it would be great for kids.
It is, yeah, and you can bring kids. You just have to have an adult with them, obviously. It will most likely be to July 12th if they have it, which they've had it the last 4 or 5 years. So July 12th most likely is when it will be. So what they try to do is change the date every year if they can. The last few years, it's been the first Saturday, I think, but I remember specifically last year they said they had to change the date because there wasn't as many fireflies, because it really depends on
Humidity.
yes, so we have to keep an eye on that. But it really is beautiful. It comes out really nice. Duke Farms used to do a big one. That's how and we actually did one in Manville, which turned out great. So, but yeah, kids are definitely welcome. It's just they can't be there alone,
Duke Farms is now broadcasting the birth of 4 eaglets.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So, okay, so then I'll keep you posted about trails.
Yeah.
And, okay, I think that'd be a nice partnership there, yeah. Oh, and give up the nightlights even, maybe, it's like a,
If we have any left by then, by July.
yeah,
That's a good idea.
cool.
Okay, so now we're gonna go into old business?
Old business, you want me to just run through them?
Sure.
So the first one, Sustainable Jersey recertification. The first Green Team meeting is on March 12th, for those of you that are on it, yeah. So
You
Paul's
saw-
on it, Walter's on it, Stan is
Yeah, but
on
you saw
it.
my note.
I saw you can't be there,
No,
yeah.
Yeah, I get home.
Ted is on it, yep. So, that's okay, we'll be there, don't worry about it. So, there's a lot of township staff on there, so
Yes.
we choose the date, Wednesday mornings work well for the amount of staff that have to be in the meeting. So we're gonna have it, as you know, I showed you all the inventory of I showed you all the inventory of all the actions that we've been working on.
Yeah, a lot of
So far, what I've been able to compile with what is done and what there's a few little things to be done, nothing major, we have over 600 potential points. So we're definitely in good shape. But the point of the first Green Team meeting is going to be to kind of go through and be like, yes, let's submit this. No, let's not submit that. So that's what we're going to do. And then, I can basically start assigning people, hey, can you please write up this narrative? Here's the documents. The good news is I saved all of the narratives and all the submissions in one PDF package for each person. So once I know who's working on it, I can send it to them and they can just be like, use this exact wording but change this number. I try to make it as easy as possible. If it means that someone won't send it because they have to rewrite it, I'll take it in an email, I'll take it written, it doesn't matter,
So tell me briefly, we are Sustainable Silver, right?
Silver, that's the highest level right now.
And how long have we been silver, do we know?
Ted knows, 2019?
It's been a while, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's on that plaque.
Because I'll put that in the email too, that we're,
2019 was the first time, so 2010 is when we first got certified as bronze.
You know, they didn't
Oh,
have
2016.
silver until about
Yeah.
2019.
2016, actually, we got certified as silver, and then we've been silver ever since. Also this year, I don't know if you want to write this in the newsletter, but I'm fairly confident about this, we should qualify for the Gold Star in Health, so that'll be good. And yeah, so we're working on it.
yeah, and I'll say no gold.
There's no gold level, but there are gold stars, and we should qualify for the Gold Star in Health.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's,
And I'll pick up their logo and dump it in there.
I have it that with ours that says Franklin, like Franklin Township, so I can email it to you. Yeah, absolutely. So we resubmit, the first resubmittal, which is just in draft, is due May 16th. The final submittal we have until September, and then there's like an interim in July that we'll submit
And
for.
when do they tell us?
They usually tell us like middle of October, end of October. Oh, I think we're in good shape. So we have to submit 350 points, and Ted and I always submit 450 points because something always gets kicked back. So, and depending if we don't feel like addressing it or not, that's why we submit extras.
Well, we will see when, if you send out the evidence, so to speak, what the facts of what we have,
Yes.
we'll have a pretty good idea of what we can
Yes, absolutely.
submit.
Yep.
Then it's
Yeah.
just a question of writing it up.
Absolutely. Yeah, so in the spreadsheet, I tried to make it as easy as possible by changing two things. I made it a Google Doc, a Google Sheet, and I also put a link into the action so the person can look it up. And I actually wrote in people's names that I think should be doing it, and that already got me a bunch of phone calls. As soon as I send on that, I started getting, I don't do this, I don't do that. I'm like, okay, you're a placeholder until you find the person.
That's
So
Mhm.
I think we're in good shape. It's just kind of combining everything at this point. Okay, the community heat monitoring and mitigation. I said at the last meeting that the agency actually emailed me. I don't know if you were here for this. The agency emailed me, and basically it was a sad email, and it basically said, we're still planning on processing the funds as long as we're here. We're going to keep working until as long as we're here.
Noah's one they hit with dismissals.
Yes, so I haven't received, now they said they were gonna let us know around the first week of March if we got the funding. The funding is through the Inflation Reduction Act, so even though NOAA is being targeted, that funding is still in place. But there might not be anybody to administer the grant funding. So I haven't heard that we've received it or not received it, but I was hoping maybe to know something tonight, but I don't, so. And then the curbside composting program, Paul, you said that the tourist people are still working on getting their required insurance.
Yes.
So, but how many people did you say you had that were
We
interested?
have about 15, 20 already.
Already
without-
15 or
and
20.
that's without going broadcast.
Right, so I emailed the agent and said, give me an update, is the hang up on the agent side or just?
Right,
Yeah.
right, okay. So that's it, I think that's all I have for old
Let me just
business.
see what it is.
Other old business, I have a few things. Remember I talked about roundabouts
Yes,
and
Yeah.
wanting to encourage roundabouts as a way to reduce emissions, as a way to reduce accidents. I would love to know where to go next with this. I do know that the New Jersey League of Conservation Voters is putting it in their policy guide this year. So they're going to start raising awareness about.
Who's that at the chamber that was vehemently against it? That's
Oh, it was Vince Dominac.
Oh, Vince, yeah.
So I said, Vince, I've got all this data on how really effective it is. Send it to me. So I did. And he said, thank you. And that was the
and
end of
that
that.
was it.
So, I mentioned a few intersections. It was at the chamber meeting, and people were saying, yeah, that's a good idea. I've mentioned it to Bill Grippo. I figured just keep talking it.
Yeah.
Joe Danielson's interested, but so if anybody has any suggestions, I'd like to see it be a part of a trigger in other ordinances, like if you're improving an intersection, you have to, instead of replacing existing traffic light, explore putting in a roundabout, like Complete Streets has those certain triggers.
Yes.
Didn't they have a lot of roundabouts years and years ago?
Those were circles.
What's the difference between a roundabout?
Circles are big, Even like Flemington, those are circles.
So roundabout is like in South Boundbrook?
Yes.
Size is not the descriptor, this is not a differentiator. What is the differentiator? That roundabout, you always have to yield, when you approach it, you always have to yield the traffic that is on it, right? With traffic circles, some of them you do, some of them you don't, which is total mess.
Yeah, and it's madness.
I mean,
Like the Somerset Circle.
Yes.
Used to be.
In Flemington.
Yeah.
So our circles, do circles
That's
have
confusing.
2 lanes, and does a roundabout only have
No,
1?
No, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, but they're usually smaller. I mean, I think I've sent everybody all the
In
articles.
Europe, they are big.
There are small and big. There are usually feeders of small ones into big ones and then small ones again. Usually the speed limit's 20 miles an hour. And so that helps because right away it slows people down.
And you know that you always have to slow down, so you do not speculate whether you can still do the orange or not.
Yes,
Right.
you don't run the light.
So you always slow down, but you do not have to stop and wait for light because you just watch the traffic. It clears up, you go.
It would help if
And-
all New Jersey drivers were sensitive to people wanting to come in and like alternate. I'll let
Well,
the
when you
person
have
in,
the
then I'll
traffic
go.
jam, then the zigzag principle
Yeah.
follows, of course. But although no, still around.
So the Bound Brook one, is that a runabout?
That's a roundabout, yeah.
I know, I
That works well. Yeah.
The two I'm familiar with are in Princeton. There's one on Rosedale Road, just beyond our Greenway, and also on Lafayette Road, which is
I just emailed
well,
Dave.
farther
That's why I want
away.
to show you what I had.
Yeah. The DOT, the state DOT is very proud of the one in Clinton, and then there's another one down in Burlington County somewhere that they think they're just great stuff, so.
There's the one on the Rutgers campus as you go all the way down
yeah.
George Street
Yeah.
and to the end.
Yes, it's to get you into Livingston, I think. It takes you from Bush to
Yeah.
Livingston.
In Arizona, from Scottsdale to Sardona, they're like every mile.
Yeah. And it's cheaper because you don't have to have the lights.
Right.
And if you have any collision, it is at low speed.
And the
Because-
amount of, there are 32 points of collision in a standard traffic light intersection, there are 8 points in a roundabout. So,
What's that mean, points?
points of potential collision.
Oh.
If you look back at the articles I sent you, you can see the graphs that they.
This collision includes the foot traffic as well.
So they are much safer. They are less expensive to install. The problem is in existing intersections where you have to buy land,
Right.
that can create a problem. But in a lot of places, the intersections, we've got 3 lanes each way. By the time you incorporate that, you could put in a roundabout. So
When you have heavy traffic already and you want to convert it to roundabout, I mean, good luck, because you have to reroute the traffic for.
But places are doing it. I've seen a few of them go in Long Island and heavily, densely populated Long Island. And
I was thinking along our canal road, because if you block the traffic due to construction, it's not such a big deal. It's not so heavy traffic road. Along Canal Road, when you have all those little roads coming in, because some people are speeding through. When you have the traffic circle, it will naturally slow them down.
I'd love to get to the right person at the county. I have written to them and encouraged it, but I think
Matt
Maybe.
Loper, did you email about Matt Loper?
no.
That's who I would talk to. He's the director of planning
Oh,
and
yeah,
engineering
Walter,
now.
I know him.
Yeah, it was Walter, right?
Well, Walter was in charge of planning, but now Matt's in charge of engineering and planning, so, yeah.
Speaking
Matt Loper.
Speaking of that, isn't there a meeting coming up about Easton Avenue?
I think there is, yeah. Let me look for the date. No, Walter's gone.
Walter John?
He's involved.
Yeah, he's deputy commissioner of something.
No, he's doing something else now. He's at the Office of Planning Advocacy.
Well, that's it, yeah.
Let me look, Franklin, yeah.
Matt
sorry, I think-
Loper.
Matthew Loper, yeah.
And he's the engineer. He was,
Now he's in charge of planning and engineering.
oh, 'cause I spoke to him. There's an Adam Slutsky in.
He's the
County
assistant engineer, assistant
Yeah.
county engineer.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we looking for? Easton Ave, right?
Yep.
When is usually they put it right up here on the front.
There were a bunch of them a while ago. I haven't seen anything.
There's a new one coming up, I believe, that starts at 5:30, where you can go in and look at the plans in the council chambers, and then at 6:30 they start with their presentation.
It's Easton Avenue, traffic, right, plans, meeting. What's the name of it? What's the name of that plan? Easton Avenue,
Improvement or something?
Easton Avenue, yeah, improvement.
Can we ask an audience member who might
Yes,
know?
do you know, Bill?
I wasn't talking about that.
Anybody? Oh, do you know what it is? No? Oh.
Do we have problems with the internet here?
Yes, the internet's acting
That's what
up.
we've been talking
About
about.
dates.
Easton Ave, project description. Oh, here we go.
She has also problems?
Yes, that's
I
what
have
we've been
some
talking about for the
problems.
last hour.
It depends on what it is. Like, I can't pull up any site plans. About the, here we go, project schedule. So,
No dates, unless you can click on those.
Right there.
summer, no, so these have passed already. So it looks like right now we are in the selection of preliminary preferred alternatives.
Right?
But there's no dates up here.
Can you?
Oh, let me see, hang on.
Change the date slide.
About the study, let's see. Study details. Oh,
Project, same
no,
place.
same thing. I don't know if there's any upcoming, if there is, this is on the county's website. I don't see it here. Resources, let's see. Project,
In meetings,
oh,
Maybe it was a Hamilton.
meeting number 1, yeah, no, I
June
don't.
of 24.
Yeah, there's nothing up here yet.
I might have been thinking about a Hamilton Street one.
I think I saw that one recently.
Put in Western Canal Road.
What's the Canal Road?
Yeah, see, that's my project. in Western-
On the map? Oh, you mean on the county?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the specifically Easton Ave,
Oh,
thing, but I will look for it, yeah.
Chamber meetings are the third Thursday or second Thursday?
I have to look into my email.
Western Canal Road.
Is the lady coming to one of her meetings?
Okay, any other,
I email her all the time.
Sunset County
bid
Planning.
opportunities, but this is from 2015, so that's not
That's
it.
Randolph
So
Road,
that's
no?
the Matthew.
Yeah, he's planning and engineering, so maybe if you go to engineering, it'll say.
I don't see it.
It's usually with the Greenville Causeway.
Who are you looking for, Stan?
Well, I'm trying to find a face, but.
Matt Lober is the person you should talk to.
But I had another person from that organization and in mind, Boccino.
Oh, Tom Pacino.
Yeah.
He's in charge of preserved open space, though.
But he's also in planning board, right?
He's in planning, but he does, preserved open space and things like that.
But I met him, I know him, but I don't know Matthew.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so, curbside composting?
Oh, we talked about that
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Any other, just basically any
Yeah,
other.
well,
What's the
business?
story with our tree ordinance suggestions?
What's this, so the last I heard was that we're waiting still on, Arnie, what, do you know from the Shade Tree Commission, what's up with this manual or whatever's going on with CME? Have they given anything?
I thought I read something.
I think they gave something, but it was like a first draft.
It was a draft.
Yeah.
That's what, we're waiting on that, basically.
And then once they have that, will they consider our recommendations? Because
I think
that's
so.
a
Yes.
maintenance plan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause we put a fair-
At least, that's what we've been told.
Right.
Well, let's keep asking, because we put a lot of work into that.
I can't find.
Okay.
Okay,
Anybody else have any other old business?
Well, I have new business that I forgot. We didn't discuss the article on volunteering that Jenny drafted.
Well, she sent 4 different articles.
What do we need to do? Just talk about,
I want to take one at a time, so.
Well, I wasn't gonna talk about 4 at a time, I was
What
just
about
saying.
Franklin Times for that one?
Because we discussed the stream cleanup, that's off table, right?
it's up to Safi. I gotta ask
We
her.
have also article on Save the Mo, refresh, which also is very good. And the volunteering, we asked her first time, so.
Looks like so.
I haven't gotten any information on
I
Franklin
thought
Times.
the
none.
Franklin Times might be a good place to put the volunteering one.
Okay, but do we want to discuss the content?
I think it's great.
I think it's a great article also. I think it should go to, the Franklin Reporter and,
In my opinion, I think Bill can run it that way.
I had I sent a couple.
I don't run things, just usually people send them to me, so you know that.
Right. Yeah, well, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Not asking you to pick it up now. We will send it.
Right.
Jenny will send it to you.
But I'm saying I reserve the right to edit.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Also, yes, so Jenny's articles are wonderful. That's like, I want to say that number one. But yes, I would say that as the first. Yes, so you're gonna set, if they get sent in, they would be in the, what did you call it, in your opinion? Is that
Yes.
in your opinion section to Bill, and then yes, he gets to, it's his thing, so he gets to edit if he wants, and
Well, he's got space requirements also.
he has space, and yes, of course, yeah, absolutely.
And if we can do it in Franklin Times, when we find out when. the
Yeah, I
next
just
issue is.
emailed Safi to ask her. I haven't received any call for articles or anything, so.
Maybe that she's going to send it out tomorrow.
Right. She'll probably be like.
I think that those are good places for that one. And what are the others? We already did the
So-
Mo.
Yes, but let's take one at a time. So comments regarding the volunteering article.
I liked it.
That's
So, no
the
edits?
government machine. That's which one is that?
Yes.
I'm gonna open it, because we have comments from Arnie, so let me, save them all. Let me just open this and see what's up.
Well, I didn't talk about that one yet, but that's.
Is this the one you were talking about, or no?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet, okay.
The volunteer one.
Volunteer, I'm sorry.
Brought up.
Volunteer soliciting, okay, all right. Great article.
You have already good comment there, all right?
I don't think we need to go through all the comments one by one right now, right?
I thought that.
Or do you want to go through the comments one by one?
Well, we were going to discuss them one by one. I don't know if we want to go through the comments. I sent them to Jenny. I sent them to you. I sent them to Stan.
Yes, so you have these comments, Jenny.
And
Okay.
you guys can do with those comments whatever you want. On 3 out of the 4, the Mo thing, I didn't say anything, that was fine. But the other 3, I made a few comments, and if you guys want to pick up on them or not, it's up to you.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So what's the motion now?
So Arnie made comments, Jenny, you have the comments. So what I think is, what Arnie's saying, he's basically offering some comments. So if you have a chance to go through and you want to accept the comments, is that basically what you're saying? Yeah, it's not like
It's up to her and whoever else looks at
yeah,
it.
and if I guess you and Stan want to work together and say, yes, we accept this comment, they look like pretty minor comments, right? Yeah.
For this one, since it's coming from me, I can just look through the comments and
Yeah.
send it right in, right?
Absolutely, I think so, yes,
Jenny, if you
right?
have any questions or comments, questions on my comments, you're welcome to contact me.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yes. The one that's gonna, now, so the volunteerism and the other, what was the other one that was gonna go to Franklin Reporter? Volunteerism and Save the Mo. Save the
That
Mo.
one's, this one's coming from me. Everything else, you can do whatever you want with.
Okay, so basically, so the other 2 articles, we can go through and we can decide, are we gonna post them in Franklin Times on our website?
So I have a comment for this one. Somewhere on top, you are saying relatively informed. I think the word relatively can be construed as weakening the author. I would suggest to take it off. Why relatively? You're staying informed. Is it relative or not?
Yeah, I agree with you, Stan. You can take that word out relatively.
So that's opinion. And the second one was factual. I made comment about the mile run, where it is. And you said 6 mile run, which I was like, wow, they didn't do 6 mile runs.
Mile run.
It's a 10K.
I think it's,
It is.
I think scroll up. The one, this meeting highlighted.
This meeting, I can't even use my find function. Something's
I don't
happening.
see it either. Where it is?
Where's
I do
my
know what
control
you're
F?
talking about. I can just make it stream cleanup.
Well, this isn't the stream cleanup one.
There's one.
Oh, there you go.
there's
You
one
may
for-
remember them for the annual 6-mile run stream.
Oh.
Yeah, just take out 6 mile run. I can do that.
And technically, we call those stream cleanups John Clyde stream cleanup.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
I know, John,
Yeah.
So it should be the annual John Clyde.
yeah.
What comes first, annual or John Clyde?
Annual.
Linguistically.
Annual.
Annual
Annual
John
lowercase, John Clyde, capitalized.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And incidentally, I remember that Sustainable Jersey wants there to be an educational component of stream cleanups, which is articles like this.
Yes, we have article before, then we have the follow-up article, and during the event at the beginning, we talk about the importance of it. So
Yeah.
I think we do have education covered.
Okay.
So, any further comments about this one?
No, she's gonna look at
Okay, next. And the next one was this Save the Mo. I like that it was connected to the previous one and it had new content in it. I like it as is.
Okay.
She's hired.
That she was hired before the, she's still not at the table. What do we do?
I like that she put SMT.
What about having a youth member? The council was gonna,
Ed said he was gonna ask, right?
have you heard anything more on that?
I haven't heard it. We talked about it at the last
We
meeting.
talked about it at the last meeting with Ed, and he said, oh, yes, that's on my to-do, and he was gonna look into it.
Okay.
So, well, these are your comments?
Yeah. This is the PSA, the HAB's PSA one.
Oh, we have stream cleanup. I'm sorry, we have Save the Mo up right now.
No.
Yeah, this is Save the Mo.
Save them all. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was sort of confused where it says in that second paragraph, the beginning of spring, in parentheses,
Should spring be capital S?
ends roughly around Earth Day. There's something in there, I don't know if that's right or what, beginning of spring, which ends roughly around Earth Day?
The season of spring, but
Yeah, yeah.
Technical season is from the spring equinox, it's late March, to the solstice, which is late June. Of course, by late June, we're really in summer, but
I'm just gonna say reword. Is that okay in the comments, Jenny? Like you'll know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
mean,
talking
that
about?
part in parentheses, I was actually debating keeping it in at all because I explain in the following paragraph that ecologically speaking, the beginning of spring ends around Earth Day, but that sort of introduces the concept of like Save the Mo till Earth Day and why
Yeah.
it's not No Mo May. So I kind of felt like I could take that out. One of my friends who looked over it said that I shouldn't. But that parenthesis part, maybe just
Okay.
take it out.
I put a comment in there and then you can, do what you think is
Okay.
best. Okay. I'm just saving this so we know what's what. Comments. Okay. Alrighty.
Anything else down there?
Let's see, diverse ecosystems.
When it's underlined, I guess it's asking for something.
Yeah.
For first, that should be space bar.
Here? I think this is a
I
comment from
wasn't
Marty.
sure where it says, when I put in 2 there, it says there are only 1 or few plants. So I didn't know if it was 1 or fewer, or if it was 1 or 2, so.
It should be few or only one.
There are few or only one, right, okay. All right. Okay.
Plans, because you have like the plans.
I'll put it in the comment, Jenny can look at
Yeah, I'll
it
figure
here.
that out.
And then the next one there, at the end of that paragraph, where I have it highlighted in yellow and then blue, and I made the comment about, the second part of that sentence, to me, had nothing to do with the first part of the sentence. I didn't understand it.
The problem with our lawns is that they support very little biodiversity. And at the rate we are chopping down forests to make neighborhoods and strip malls, we can no longer afford to lose this land. So basically what I think you're trying to say is that the land that's being used for lawns would be better used if it could just remain forest or natural.
Well, we are adding complexity here with the forest because the original idea did not include forests of as and that. We were not discussing forests. You think it's still matching?
The forests and strip malls, it just didn't make sense to me with the problems, what is it, the problem with our lawns is that they support very little biodiversity, and then all of a sudden you're talking about chopping down forest and adding strip malls, and no longer can we afford to lose land.
I'm going to just say, can we reorder, separate these sentences for clarity, and then again, you can look at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I would maybe not talk
Yeah, I
about
was trying to
forest.
avoid using the term natural land because that's ill-defined. Like that was sort of my idea of like, we're getting rid of natural land that supports biodiversity, but there's this question of like, what is natural land? And so that's why I replaced it with forest, but I could try to
What
find
about undisturbed?
undisturbed. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, I'll add undisturbed.
With the red lines.
Even undisturbed. I don't have a suggestion, but
Even in forests, there are real differences between land that at some point was used as fields and forest that has never been
Yeah.
the
secondary.
differences in the soil result.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Excuse me, everybody.
And to have virgin land
That's another one.
that's never been disturbed by humans.
Say that word.
What?
You don't have to say that word.
why not? Yes, that's what I'm farm or brewing.
That's right.
Yep.
I'm a biologist, if I can say.
Having all those piles over at the 8.
Oh, we need to have, they're brewing a big batch out.
We need a glossary of words that we want to
Come.
use.
And one we cannot.
Changes date.
Well, Jenny has these articles, right? Just to be clear. And so, Arnie, you're good with her just looking through these, right? Or no? Yeah. And then she can make the final draft and coordinate it, or no?
Well, whatever we agree on. I mean, if we are fine that after the additions she just submits.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how we can flood one outlet with 4 or how many articles we have at the time, but maybe he'll figure it out.
Well, the Save the Mo and the volunteerism maybe can go to start.
Yeah, I think the Save the Mo could even wait another few weeks. 'Cause,
Okay.
I mean, everybody's grass is so dormant right now.
Right. But the volunteerism one, that's a good one to go.
But the stream cleanup,
And the stream cleanup, yes.
I also feel like the volunteerism isn't tied to the season or to an actual event.
Yes,
Like, it'd be nice
yes,
to get it out as soon as
yeah,
possible,
yeah.
but it doesn't need to get out.
Yeah, got it.
stream cleanup, I mean, the thing is that we want to have the announcement multiple times, and but we cannot just ask one outlet to do it multiple times. So then the question is, what is the best timing for given outlet to release? We'll leave it up to that outlet.
Yeah.
But we're talking about stream cleanup, but we haven't finished with this one.
Yeah, well, going back and forth.
So Save the Mo can probably wait to go out for right now. Like we can hold, because we're not going to like bombard with all these articles.
I think there's 2 more comments on that there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Not comments, but on the next paragraph down, I think the word "it" can be removed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then in number 2 below that, I think this is something we discussed, that front lawn is your best bet, and we had talked about not putting anything about which lawn to use.
Right. So we want that. We want it to not say just the front lawn.
I think it should just be designate a section of your lawn that is not used often for activities. And that's it. You can decide.
Compromise, then it's okay. The reason why I put it in was,
People see it.
well, not only that, but you're not using it for activity. You also have.
Yeah, I understand.
Front lawn is what people want to show off.
Among themselves.
The back lawn is what they
Having this
use.
discussion via email.
Typically.
But I think if they can show off a front lawn with flowers sprouting, so much the better.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you have wild flowers and you have the pollinators, you don't want to have it in the backyard because you don't want to step on bee, right? So I can understand why they don't want to do it in the backyard, because the human activity. And that's why the front lawn would be
But
maybe.
that's why we say leave it to them to decide which. Some of them might say front lawn, and good for them.
Yeah.
Some
So,
people might have have a very little backyard.
And more frontage.
Whose battery is running low?
Mine. Oh my gosh. Yes, I do. I do. Yes.
You're not plugged in?
No, but I can. Yeah. All right.
Well, we got another.
okay, so be it. We can take it out. Anything else?
Not on this one, no. Were we gonna go over anything else today, or is that it?
We'll see what's the tolerance of the crowd here.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think we can do this between Jenny and us, like with comments. I don't know that we need to, unless you guys want to.
I thought that the commission wants to kind of always talk about.
I mean, Stan made a comment, and I made some comments, and that's it. And it's up to me, once Jenny, decides on whether she wants to do it what way and gives it to you guys, it's up to you guys to decide.
Okay, if we don't need to move on what Jenny believes, then I think so it's much easier. Yeah. So maybe next one, or you want to pop up the next article?
Sure.
Yeah.
Which one is the next one?
The last one, or yeah,
This one.
the HEB. That's the only one I didn't look into.
Okay.
In June, yeah.
Yeah, this is for June. Yeah, so I'll save it. I'll save it. Yeah. Okay.
So we're not gonna look at that now?
It's up to you guys,
We
but it
don't
won't
have
be
to.
published till
No
June.
rush, I mean,
We don't have to. I
we
would.
don't have to look at it now.
Okay.
I'm gonna save it though. All right. All right. And then, let's see. We did say the Mohabs volunteer stream cleanup. We looked at that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
All right, so that's it then.
Yeah,
Yep.
because that one will go in the name of the environmental commission.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Thank you, Jenny. This is excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Really good writing.
Yeah.
Okay, so, motion to, open the comment.
So move. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Jenny, you got anything more you want to add?
Yeah, I do. One of the things I thought of for Skip the Stuff, A lot of restaurants in town are still just giving you straws with your drink, so if we can include straws into the whole discussion with plasticware.
Straw has been already banned. I mean, banned from distribution without
Plastic
asking.
straws, some are
Yeah,
giving
they're
out
still
paper.
doing it. I'm.
I know, this is the most violated law in
Yeah.
New Jersey, because they are not supposed to give it to you without asking.
Yeah,
So if they give it to you without asking, they're
that
violating.
lasted for like.
Well,
a
again,
full
that's
week,
something
maybe.
that comes down to enforcement.
Yes.
And, again, we talked about this last week, that the Somerset County Health Department inspects restaurants, and while they're doing their inspections, if they walk around the restaurant and they see this happening,
See it.
then they hit them with a violation. And that's something that we should bring to the
I would like
attention
to see it.
of the Somerset County Health Department. No, I agree with you, Stan. It's, it's all about enforcement and
Yes.
how much time they have, but
I
it's
feel like
not
there
really a priority of theirs, but, it should be.
I
Everything's.
feel like there needs to be a way for like citizens to report it. Like I'd report places when I go out or something, but I guess that's not your jurisdiction.
Well, you can report it to the health department.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have done it.
See it happening, and then they can write about
Okay.
No, they have to make their own visit because they have to.
inspection.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, if they get a call from many people about the same restaurant, they might make another trip besides their regular annual inspection, just to check it out.
Our county, you tell them, they do it. They don't count how many people are complaining about given restaurant. They just go. I complained about the Amish farmers market in Kingston,
Plastic bags.
because they were giving out plastic bags, and so
Plastic what?
plastic bags.
I think though, aren't you, if you're under a certain square foot,
Yeah.
you can give out plastic
Then you
bags?
have to be paper.
No, I don't think so.
No,
No.
you can still be plastic.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah, I was working in a store.
500 square feet?
Yeah, that's how farmers markets get by.
So if these inspectors are going out, do
I
they
thought
have a checklist?
They do, I'm sure,
So
yeah.
I would like to see the checklist to
No,
see
I'm-
if the straws are on there,
So-
the bags are on
Yeah.
there.
I'm pretty sure that
Yeah.
the threshold you are talking about, above certain square footage, they cannot give out any bags for free. They have to sell it, okay? But when it's less, they still cannot give out plastic, they have to give paper.
I don't know if that's true,
Well,
possible.
something depending on the size of the store and what kind of store it is. I mean, because it's really aimed at grocery stores.
I was working over at Terhune Orchards, and they were saying that we were allowed to give them out, but we didn't want to be the ones that were like giving out plastic bags. So we waited for people to ask for them, but we didn't have to charge for that. At least that's what I was told.
Yeah.
I know that the exceptions are in pharmacy, when they hand out, and also what they call the produce bags, when you have to bag meat and
Yeah.
Right, that's the meat, fish, those
yes,
kinds of.
but it's not by itself a bag. It's just thin piece of plastic and.
Yeah.
But
It's like
Yeah,
when
well,
you go to-
particularly when you're getting loose vegetables. But I keep those bags and reuse them.
Yes, me too.
A lot.
Yes.
They're like gold. Yeah.
Well, we're
Also, if
using
you
the
go to-
bird
if you
seed
go to
bags
Home
for my
Depot,
dirty
you need
kitty
loose
litter.
Screws
'Cause I
and
don't have
and
the
nails and stuff.
plastic
They put it in a
bags.
plastic bag. They're allowed to do that.
Yeah, the only thing the law says is that supermarkets over 2,500 square feet can only, they cannot do the plastic bags, but doesn't actually say under 2,500 square feet. So it basically says if you're 2,500 square feet or over, this applies to you. Under, it doesn't. And then you can, they still do give out plastic bags at like the smaller stores.
Why does size make a difference?
Because, who knows, yeah.
they're more
I know
impactful.
size matters, guys, but sorry.
I get big paper bags at Ace Hardware
The size of the store.
because we use the big paper bags to accumulate junk mail for recycling.
That's what I did, Ted. I do the same thing. I've got
I put my
a
junk mail
boatload
in
of
a paper
bags that I've
bag.
saved up just for that. Paper bags.
The one thing that Jenny is saying, though, to get back to what you were saying, Jenny, is that about the straws, I mean, you're right, they can still give out paper straws. So the plastic, so that's what you're saying, right? And also, you shouldn't be giving out straws, plastic or paper with the skip the stuff. That should be included.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I think that makes sense.
Donald Trump says they don't work.
I
So why can't,
I'm not
we
afraid, just
can't
don't-
recycle paper
I know.
straws because they're contaminated?
Well, I went to purchase in McDonald's over the
We don't need
weekend.
straw. Who came up
I
with this
didn't get
idea
it.
that we need straw?
Oh, see, that's
Doesn't
good.
work very well. The one
Good.
thing I might be agreeing
That
with
was
him
good.
on, you just don't need a
I don't
straw
know
at
if
all.
it was an accident or they're really following that.
I got stainless steel straws from 4-H.
Yeah, I have some of those somewhere also.
Oh, to clean the inside.
You got anything else, Jenny, or?
I mean,
Yeah, well,
wash 'em,
for
put 'em in the
this clarification,
dishwasher.
that's the county that I can report it to?
Yes,
County
County Health
Okay,
Department.
great. The other thing was last week I mentioned having an event for information about native plants and I guess I'm just wondering next steps on that. I can be a part of the planning or.
So the next steps would basically be, we have a person on our Trails Committee that's on the Native Plant Society, so I would connect with him first. I think
Okay.
that's the next steps. Our Trails Committee, now the next one is virtual. So if you want, you can sign on to that, or I can bring it up at the next meeting.
Okay. Could I reach out to him beforehand, see if he'd be interested in that sort of thing?
Yeah, I don't see why
Just get the
not.
ball, because
Yeah.
I think that ideally that sort of thing would happen in April or May. So I just want to make sure that.
I'll email you his information.
Okay.
I'll email you, his name is Pravesh Lal, and I'll email you his information.
Yeah, we had connected at the Trails Advisor
Yes.
meeting I went to, so I'll propose that idea to him.
Cool.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments?
No, I'm good.
Okay, motion to close the public comments?
So moved.
So moved. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Second?
Hi.
Okay, roll call.